Be so good that they can ignore you. Hey, Taylor and welcome to another TGC podcast brought to you by Center for Future Learning. I'm Naveen Raman from Life Skills, and each week we bring you a successful person to help you discover the need for graduate capabilities so you can be a winner in the workplace. We are lucky to have Mr. Gary Das, CEO of Tex Cycle Technology Berhad, a listed company in Bursa, Malaysia, in our studio. Gary is trained as a chartered accountant and he holds an ACCA designation and BSc degree in applied accounting. He was a state level badminton player, a skilled footballer, and a hiker, to name a few. We will be talking about skills and capabilities that help him to succeed in the commerce industry. Today's theme is TGC 5, personal competencies, and Gary will also be sharing on how skillfully managing his personal and professional goals, responses, and behavior has helped him to become a top executive. So stay tuned and get inspired. I am privileged and happy to have Mr. Gary Das, CEO of Tex Cycle Technology Berhad. I know Gary for almost 2 decades now, and he's one of the smartest, most hardworking, and multi-talented individual that I have come across. And he's here to inspire our young minds. Welcome to our podcast series, Mr. Gary, and how are you doing today?
Thank you so much, Naveen. Yeah, first of all, maybe let me extend my heartfelt appreciation for inviting me over this podcast. It's really special, being hosted by my dear friend from my hometown, Singapore. And Taylor's has a very special place in my heart, actually, because I've always loved the food whenever I used to come over for events when my brother was studying here. So it has a lot of memories for me as well.
I'm glad to hear that, Gary. Now, I'm going to ask you my favorite question. What are the skills that you would say help you to be a peak performer or successful in your industry?
Thanks for the question, Naveen. I'm actually humbled by those words that you have mentioned. Basically, I don't see myself as as a very successful guy or something. I'm just working myself up through the career ladder. But what has it been keeping me ongoing is the passion that I have, and also the motto, or probably I would say I have my own words of wisdom whenever I am down or feeling negative and things like that, is to just think of someone who is worse off than you. So that is something that has been keeping me going, even though for any situation or any circumstances that I have faced into troubles or issues. And the attitude is something that I am very keen of, and I'm working on that. And another thing that I've also learned to do is that to adapt and understand that learning never ends. It's such a thing that has enabled me to attain vast insights, knowledge to many aspects of the working world. And well, what can say, information is wealth. So that is some of the key pointers that I can say that has helped me grow in my industry.
Some great insights over there. Thanks, Gary. Now, you were not too far away from Taylor's, during your college years. What are some of the most important skills or capabilities that you have developed when you were in your university?
Okay, for a university, right, it's a different kind of a life as compared to schools. So from that angle, I would say that the good thing that I've learned in universities or colleges are the interpersonal skills and also networking skills. You see, in schools, we are interacting with people from our hometown, or if I can say kampong. So we are all sort of tend to be on the same wavelength or even the same kind of culture as in probably even mannerisms. But when you are heading to universities or colleges, that's when you start meeting people from different and various locations with possessing different kinds of attitudes, culture, mannerism. And it's really a great eye opener for anyone in such educational institutions. And it's a very good platform actually to build your networking base and skills. So I would say that for the skills that I've learned, I would have to say that it's my PR skills that I've learned in the universities as well.
Amazing. I remember in 2012 when I started in the investment banking, it was a big learning curve. Again, coming from a small town,
Yeah.
had to very quickly adapt and learn to network with people who come from very different worldviews and perspectives. Now, things have changed a lot. I mean, technology, digitization, in fact, COVID-19 accelerated, the pace of change.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say our students can do to prepare to face, a very ever-changing workplace?
Yeah. For me, I would say that for all the students out there in tailors, I would really hope that you have your preparation done mentally. I mean, it's very important to have your mental preparation done, and the ability to adapt to an ever-changing environment, and working towards improving yourselves. Because we shouldn't be taken back by technologies, but rather take it as a stepping stone, to drive ourselves further to greater heights, mingle with people with great experiences and wisdom. You'll be surprised that there's so much of knowledge to be acquired. And again, I have to mention that it's information is wealth, and whichever person who can stand out among the rest and to have this kind of information will really succeed in life. How to do that? People would ask. Talk less and listen more. You will tend to find that you'll get more info and knowledge from the people around you, be it from someone younger than you or at a lower ranking. There is always something that you will learn from this. And secondly, of course, like I said earlier, never underestimate staffs. You'll never know, no, in the world that there will be things that come around again. So it's always good to have a good relationship with among your peers, and also restrain from any animosity, and use this technology as a good platform, especially with all the social media platforms, to communicate. Now almost the whole world is on virtual meetings, just like us now. And that would be something that the students shouldn't be worried about technology. Use it as a tool. And of course, when it comes to competing with technology, right, we tend to hear a lot of stories, or probably even students or people who have just started their working life. People tend to go running after money rather than improving themselves. So it's always good. I'll always say to people is that you should always try to improve yourselves to have an edge over technology if it's possible. Work hard, money will follow through. So don't have your goal as money, and forget all the valuable things that you can attain while having technology as a backup tool. And with the changing environment, right, I think it's very important to be able to adapt. And as I said, uh, you have to be able to have your mentally preparedness ready, and to be also able to withstand any storm that comes your way. So it's something that don't take technology as a negative thing, but take it as a tool for you to grow. It'll be something that you would always cherish in your life in the working world.
Now, Gary, if you were
Yeah.
to hire some interns or fresh graduates, under you to make an A team, what would you look in them in terms of skills and capabilities?
All right. First of all, I would look at the attitude, to have a good discipline, hardworking, and with good problem solving skills, good common sense, with a good reasoning power, because we really need those skills, to move forward. Because at the end, it's all about your PR skills when you go out to work. For example, you're going to a doctor, say Ali and Abu. One guy is being very detailed in explaining about problems or sickness, and making you feel like you're, under the weather, and you're so bad. And if you take a certain medicine, you'll be like, suffering a lot of side effects. But compared to another guy, say Dr. Abu, who is a very calm guy, who calms down the patient and is able to make him feel comfortable that his sickness is able to be recovered by just taking a certain pill. Of course, there's side effects, but there is, I would say, a light at the end of the tunnel for this kind of thing. So in that kind of circumstances, people will definitely choose someone who is able to communicate and make you feel at ease, and to be comfortable, I would say, moving forward. And if you notice, I've not touched on grades yet. Of course, grades are very important. Every employer looks for the cream of crops, and that will be the spotlight for everyone. But that will be a standard answer. What I'm trying to share is the grades matter a lot, but I would always want to have a person who is coming as a package deal with skills that we look out for, as mentioned. On most important is the people skills.
Amazing. Thanks for that reminder. And we teach a whole course on social
Oh, okay.
awareness and relationship management. So hopefully our students are taking note and really practicing it so they can be good graduates. Now today's theme is TGC 5, personal competency, and I've seen you in action. You're one person who's always been able to manage yourself under pressure and perform. And this is since school days itself. Now, could you tell us how that has been critical for your success in the corporate world? And maybe you could also give an example.
Okay. I mean, just to touch back to this TGC, you're talking about personal competencies and all. It is very important. Employers look out for the kind of competencies that make an employee stand out from the rest. And I can relate that to myself as well. And how did I do that? Is by having passion and interest in whatever job that I've been doing. Employers, as I said, look for all rounders, and I was always trying to not be the parrots. There's a lot of people out there who are, I would say, are parrots who can memorize every word of textbook, but fail to seal a deal or resolve issues. For instance, a very good Bollywood movie is Three Idiots, probably to watch, where it stresses out to pursue one's career based on passion, interest, and not by force. Otherwise, failure will definitely follow through. And I hope really with this TGC graduating students will tend to get wiser and be ready to hit the working arena, and not to expect to be spoon fed all the way. If there are days to burn the midnight oil, go ahead and do it without complaining, unless it is being done on purpose by your employers for whatever reason. Uh, I mean, it will be really a good learning curve and experience, trust me, for those studying accounting or finance looking to head to audit firms. I can really relate to most of you. Been there, faced the challenges. To be frank, I will have to say that I enjoyed my moments there, though it was tough at the start. But as it cruise along, it's a wonderful experience. And of course, the reason why I left was just that I was curious, to find out how is it on the other side of being scrutinized and audited by someone, and also running the show of a business, going through the hardships of meeting all the necessary requirements to sustain the business, and even to to a greater level to sustain the business, especially in times of this pandemic. And this is an example of a situation that I just wanted to share an example why I'm saying this is because of you have to know your own strengths and your opportunities that come along the way, and align it towards your preferred goal in life. So which is what I did. I was in audit firm. I loved it, but I wanted something else. So, and I knew what were my strengths, my weakness, my opportunities, and from doing that, right, I would like to just say that you will have to know yourself. What do you aim to do, or to be, or to grow, to become, and always monitor your progress. If you think that you're not hitting your goal or your target, you should re-look into your direction of your working life and your career. If there's a point in your career where you feel uncomfortable with certain job, or not meeting your certain desired goal, by all means, take the leap of faith and make the right choice. It is not wrong. Change is always constant. And I I was not even sure, what I wanted to be when I was even studying my ACCA. I have to say that, it was thanks to even my good friend here, Naveen, who actually shared the insight about it. Otherwise, I was like just blunt. I didn't know where to go. I had no idea. Even while I was studying, I had no idea. People said that, oh, okay, you should go to audit firm. So I just followed by by the crowd. But now, as I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I hope to reach there in due course. In times of the pandemic now, we hope, and I really hope that it's somewhere where I can head. And the whole idea was to just improve myself, again driven by your passion, and try to find out what kind of a goal that you're looking at. What kind of objective you're looking in life. You may have a switch in the career direction. It doesn't matter, as long as you meet your end goal. I think that would be something that will be worthwhile, for your life that you have been granted as well. It's something that you'll be really looking forward. Imagine every day waking up to something that you hate or you don't like it. You'll be, just grumbling your way to office, and the whole day is like gone. So in that sense, you need to start finding yourself and overcoming it and growing further as well, not being left behind by because of this kind of negativity.
It was really inspiring hearing from you, Gary. I've learned a lot, and I'm just hoping that my fellow students and Tellurians will be getting all the gems as well.
Yeah.
And again, thank you so much for your time. I know your schedule is really busy. I'm really hoping to see you again in another podcast series or maybe on campus. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Hope you enjoyed this week's TGC podcast. We heard from Mr. Gary about various skills and capabilities that you need to succeed, including TGC 5, personal competencies, which is critical to succeed in a VUCA world. Remember, as a professional with strong personal competencies, we need to be self-aware and self-regulate our emotions by skillfully managing our goals, intentions, responses, and behaviors to stand out and shine in the workplace. So keep applying TGC 5 and reach the summit in your chosen career. I'll see you on the flip side.